Good morning, friends. Michelle here with Halfway Homestead, and I want to take you on a quick walk through the garden. I want to show you some beautiful blooms, some good-looking veggies, and some big changes. And so one of the big changes, or the result of one of the big changes, is right here behind me. So let me turn you around and I can show you. So I did harvest the rest of the garlic. These are the ones that either split really bad, like this, or the head popped off when I pulled too hard. So that's one of the great things happening today, or happened a few days ago. Let's go look at a few other things. Come on, Daisy. Okay. I see my neighbors. I don't know what they're doing. Give me a second. Okay. So yesterday morning, I went out and harvested the rest of the onions. That's another big change. So I've got them, I made a makeshift drying rack. But look at these onions. Look at how big those are. There's some bigger ones down here. Look at that. My hands are not very big, but that is a huge onion. Look at this. Huge. And they are so sweet and so delicious. Red ones did not perform as well. This is probably the biggest red one, which is still decent. But yeah, so good. All right, the other thing we did yesterday evening was we started, hi Daisy, hello sweet girl. We started digging potatoes. And so this was 2 volunteer plants and I don't know, probably half a dozen others. Look at this. It's bigger than that onion. That was off of one of the volunteer plants. So is this one. Huge. Then we got some really nice sized, I think these are Yukon Gold. Good looking taters. Okay, so let's take a walk down to the garden and I will show you like where I took those things out and if anything has been put back in their place. And also let's just look at all the blooms that are in the garden. I like to go out here almost every morning and just walk through the garden looking at the beauty that's in there. By the grace of God, my garden is beautiful. And pay attention to what needs to be done. I'm not going to show you, but on my refrigerator, I am a teacher at heart. I do teach first grade at our local public school. But even over this summer break, I make myself lesson plans with little sticky notes on the calendar of different tasks that need to be done. And then I assign them a day to get it done. And as long as the weather cooperates, then it happens. The beauty of using sticky notes is I can move them around if I need to. Or if the weather is not cooperating, I can move them to a different day. But, okay, I'm going to turn you around and let you see the garden. It is gorgeous. So let's first look at some beautiful blooms. We have some teeny tiny blooms here. This is one of the climbing cherry tomatoes. And this bed is where all the garlic was. So it's now been flipped and amended. And there are some beets. And so I planted this whole bed with with a new beet variety to me, and it's a cylinder-shaped red beet. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I love beets, specifically pickled beets. And so I am looking forward to having that whole bed full of beets. On the end here are some more beautiful blooms. Look at this. This is Tromboncino, and we can see some hanging up there at the top. I did have to pull a couple off yesterday because I guess they had not been pollinated appropriately. And here's another one. And they were turning yellow. That's okay. But I like to come out in the mornings, make sure everybody's climbing up the trellises appropriately. Okay. Then we have our little pumpkins that are growing. Some of these are sugar pie, some of these are Jack B. Little. And then our round loofah has finally reached my height. And hopefully it will continue climbing and give us lots of round loofahs. I've never grown that one before either. This bed, I think you've seen this one. This one was really just full of grass and a few carrots. I pulled the carrots. They weren't any good. They were very woody. And so I flipped the bed, amended it, and I put in some more carrots. Let's see. No, I had already put in carrots. I got to think about it. Using the seed tape. And I had poor germination, but that was about the time I had my gallbladder out. And so I was not able to get out here and take care of things. So I'm sure I am at fault. And anyway, I pulled out all the woody carrots, left the seed tape carrots, put in some peppers. So hopefully these guys will do really well. And I just have some marigolds at the end, not blooming yet, but they are growing very nicely. Asparagus, asparagus. I finally did something with one of the asparagus beds. My friend Shane suggested I just tie it up. And so I did. I think it looks terrible, but it'll work for now. And then this one, I just need someone to help me tie it up because, yeah, it's just hard to do with one person. Over here, I did have some calendula here at the end, and it started looking diseased and stunted and just wasn't doing anything, so I pulled it out. I did pull out one complete whole kale plant. You can see it over there on the ground because these were, I put them too close. They were just very shaded or very crowded. I am going to come in here and put some more flowers at the end. Here's some more beautiful blooms. Okay, this is cantaloupe. It's called, let me see here. Which one is this one? Yeah, this is the Hales Jumbo or Hal's Jumbo. And then I have put in some more here at the other side because that's where the sugar snap peas were, and I pulled those out. Look at this. Full of vines, full of beautiful blooms. And this is more cantaloupe. Some of this, no, I take that back. This whole side are cantaloupe seeds that I have saved from buying delicious cantaloupe. And they are growing vigorously and blooming just like crazy. And let me get around here. We do have a little cantaloupe. And so that is so exciting. I hope these cantaloupes will be as good as the ones that we ate. I don't know. They're gorgeous. This is the bed where all the onions were, and it was absolutely full of ground cherries. I pulled out all the onions, and most of the ground cherries. But I am going to just leave it to what's in here now. I don't think I'm going to add anything else. I haven't completely decided, but right now it's just going to stay as is. And then some more beautiful blooms. Why are all the garden veggies blooming yellow? Have you ever noticed that most of them bloom yellow? Okay, These are cucumbers, and look at this. Cucumbers, 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 all the way up to the top. I love it. And I've already eaten a handful of cucumbers. They're doing really well. Let's see, some other changes. Right down here, I have already been picking green beans. You can see lots of blooms. These are blooming white. Beautiful. And I have already started harvesting beets. Yesterday I went through and just pulled the biggest of what was here. Tomatoes are doing fantastic. I've got flowers or herbs in between. So here's a nice looking calendula. Look at that marigold. Gorgeous, loaded with blooms. So lots of tomatoes. Oh, I did put peppers over here amongst the beets. And when all the beets come out, my plan, backing up, I don't want to step on anything. My plan for where the beets are is to probably plant more green beans, because I'm getting enough for fresh eating and I still have a lot canned, but I don't know, I'm getting kind of nervous that I'm not getting enough. And so there's at least 2 more places I'm going to plant green beans. Okay, turning back around. This is our row of peppers and dill. And I did harvest a lot of the dill yesterday, took it in to dry. Then we have more tomatoes and more calendula. It's just looking fantastic. And look, little blooms on the tomatoes. We do have, oh look, there's a little tomato. Can you see that? Also, I have zinnias that are blooming in here. Look at that, so cute. Looking good. This is where sorry, I'm catching my tripod on stuff. Let me see if I can, I'll be right back with you. All right, this is where one of those volunteer potato plants were, and it was a huge, huge plant and just gave a couple of potatoes. But that's okay, they will be fantastic, and I'm glad to get it out of the garden. Potatoes, 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 and grass. And then down here is where we dug the rest of the potatoes last night. It is a mess, but that's okay. I'll get it cleaned up and fixed up. All right. Get out of the garden here and around the potato mess. There's some pigweed in there and I don't want to step on it. It has thorns. Okay. Here are the pumpkins and the gourds, the squash, more zinnias and peppers, and there's some navy beans. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful blooms. Over here, oh, beautiful blooms. And I think this one, yes, there are some yellow squash down in there. So that's exciting. Navy beans are blooming. Gorgeous. Don't know what this one is yet because I'm not good at labeling in the garden. Look at these peppers. So this is called, I think Riley said, a candy cane pepper or a candy striped pepper, something like that. And one of them, oh, here we go. Look at this pepper. It is striped. So pretty. And then we've got the popcorn, which, hello, we have definitely hit knee high by 4th of July. It's looking good. More tomatoes, more flowers. There's a little tomato. This is a volunteer bean. I think it's a scarlet runner bean. I'm not positive though. because I thought scarlet runner beans bloom red, but this one is blooming purple. So I'm not even sure. But it does put on these kind of greenish purple pods. And I've been picking them. We've been eating them. They're good. And those darn Japanese beetles. And then now we have this big guy in here. And Scott looked it up, and it is some other kind of Japanese bug. Wish they'd take their bugs back. And they feed on the same things as the Japanese beetles. So I don't know. They're just gross, and I don't like them. I do come out just about every day. I have a little handheld vacuum, and I suck up all the Japanese beetles and those big beetles, and then I go flush them down the toilet because I want them out of here. But they are, you know, on that green bean right there, there's lots of them, but they are even worse in the heat of the day. And so I come out like 2:30, 3 o'clock when it's really hot and suck up as many as I can. Here's a look at the garden from another angle. It's so pretty. And right now, it's not bad out here. My raspberries, I have been picking lots of raspberries. Here's one. And this variety is called Heritage. And then we have our blackberries, which this end down here is another variety of raspberry. I do not know what they're called. Can't remember. But on this side, we have our thornless blackberries. Look at that. They're huge. And they're so good. Okay. There's my sweet daisy. Scott did come out last night and spray the apple trees because the Japanese beetles are really tearing them up. I don't know what he used to spray, but he did. Look at that. All right, good stuff. Walking back up to the house and to the front flower beds, I want to show you this one. This is my center drive bed, circle drive bed. I've really been working on weeding and cutting down tree sprouts. I see there's one I missed. Oh, there's some grass in there too. That's all right. I'll get back to it. Lots of beautiful greenery in there, not too much blooming. That's okay. But look at around the front porch. The hostas are putting on quite the show. Let's get up here so we can see it closer and the lighting will be a little bit better. Okay, I just set down all my blackberries. Okay, just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Most of these hostas I moved from our other house when we moved. And a few of them I have moved from the back of the property and brought up here. Especially the ones over, which this is a weedy mess, I know. These little bitty ones here were at the back of the property and I moved up. The bumblebees, and I'm assuming honeybees, native bees, love the hostas. I've been harvesting lots of mint. That's not a mint. Oh, what that is. Pull that out of there. Harvesting lots of mint and getting it dehydrated. I love mint tea. All right, let's go up. Okay, calendula, I come out every day, pluck off these flowers so you can see all the stems. I've got a little orange hat tomato that's blooming, teeny tiny bloom. This green stalk is finally starting to fill out, And I feel like I have figured out what I did wrong. It wasn't necessarily me doing something wrong. I think that the bag of soil, here's my chamomile, same thing. I come out and pluck off the flowers, which I missed some yesterday. Dahlia, this has bloomed once, and I feel like maybe it's not getting enough sun. Anyway, back to the green stock. I think the bag of soil, I've got some crazy hair going. The bag of soil was mismarked because it said raised bed mix, but that soil is so clumpy and dense, and I think it's probably like an in-ground mix. I don't know, but oh, there's Sassy. So probably what I'll do next spring, I'm not going to do it now, but next spring I will switch out that soil. Hi, Sassy. And I'll just dump all that soil into one of the flower beds or into the garden and then use a different mix. And there's Bernard, my garden cow. Here are some strawberry runners that I have captured. Daisy, what are you doing? Okay, and these petunias, gorgeous. Some of these reseeded themselves from last year, and I had started them from seed last year. And I've been coming out and trying to save some seeds off of these lighter pink ones that I actually bought at the nursery. It's kind of tricky to catch the little seed pod at the right time. Okay, and I've got some strawberries here. I'm capturing some more strawberry runners. Okay. Very, very pretty. The Japanese beetles love my strawberry leaves. Darn bugs. Okay, and there's another beautiful bloom, strawberry bloom. Oh, looky here. It's a little strawberry. Okay, they have been delicious. All right, I have one more cow to show you. This is my cow from Emmett, and it lights up at night, and it is just so pretty. Okay, I have one thing I want to show you, and then I'm gonna cut off this video because I have to get ready for my day. I've got to run some errands, and I'm meeting my parents for lunch. So this is our, I just call it our wildflower mess. Didn't mean to shut you off. I meant to turn the camera. We have so many wildflowers in here, but there's also irises. Ouch, I don't have any shoes on. There's irises, there's petunias that bloomed. We have the ditch lilies and the purple coneflower. And it's just so pretty. And yes, I know there's lots of grass. I know there's weeds, but it's just so pretty. All right, there you have it, all my beautiful blooms and big changes. And I have a lot more work to do, but it's okay. That's what gardening's about, right? It's always changing, always producing. Sometimes you're just waiting for it to produce, but it's okay because a garden is a beautiful thing. And I love coming out in the mornings. I love just enjoying the blooms. So friends, I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video or think you know somebody that might enjoy it, please share it. Give me a like, thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. I'm trying really hard during this summer break to get 2 videos a week out. during the school year, it is so hard for me to get videos out. So I try to just jam pack them into the summer. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.